Need to put my headphones in. Oh, you might be the guy I need to talk to, Star, huh? You're a construction guy. Let me turn the light on. So I'm in my new house, and we have I don't know what kind of drain it is outside, but along the whole house, around the back and down the one side, it has they built like a concrete trough, for the water to run in. Well, on one side of the corner of the house, there's a low spot, and it's building up water, and a little bit of the water is coming in. I mean, it's not super bad. Here, I'll show you. The water's starting to leak in here, and I need to figure out what I need to do to seal that. And it seems to be just, at this corner right here. I need to seal that, and then obviously I need to make the low spot outside better, but that's what I need help with. I thought if I went live, there's got to be somebody that knows something about that. No, here, I'll show you the outside. Right on the outside of that. So you get an idea what that little drain is. See here, all along here, you can kind of see the fabric, but all along here, it's all concrete. But right there is a low spot. So obviously I got to fix that so it's not a low spot anymore, but I need something that I can seal the inside. Come on, Thor. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sorry, guys. Hold on a sec. I'll show you here, Hills. Get out of the way, dog. See the water? Right there, along here, you can see where water is leaking. And I need to fill that. I need to get something I can seal that with. And then outside, I'll I'll fix it where it's a low spot. I'll have to get some Quikrete or something to fix the low spot. But I need to seal that so it stops letting water in the garage. Isn't that what the French drain is? Isn't it? Because out there, like I say, all along the house, I don't know if you've seen that. Can't really see it because there's water in it, but there's like a trough, and it's all concrete trough all along the outside. But on that corner right there, the water sits like there's a low spot. So, I mean, obviously I got to fix that low spot, but I need to also seal the floor in there at the top, Thanks, Mothballs. And it was the first amount of rain. I haven't noticed it anywhere else. Everywhere else seems to be all right, but it's just right there. And so my thought is fixing that. I'm going to fix that low spot, out there. And then I want to put in, like the black perforated pipe and then cover it over with gravel. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, is that something that sounds logical? And then just put the black pipe all the way around because it goes from that corner all the way to the back side of the house and then all the way down the whole side of the house on the other side. So I figured if I put black perforated pipe in there and then covered it with gravel. What up?
Okay. So yeah, basically the French drain, you would dig down to the footing, and you would put that black pipe, and you'd be able to carry it. So you'd be able to like trench and carry it so it goes downhill.
Right.
Basically, yeah, it's low, but it's the water from around the property is draining to that area. Water goes to the lowest spot.
Yes.
So you need to figure out how to take it from sitting there, because the pressure is the reason why it's coming in, is because there's so much water sitting up against that wall. It has nowhere else to go but inside.
Right. It finds the least resistance.
Right. So basically, by you digging down all the way down to the footing and putting in that French drain, and then once you have that wall exposed, you can go probably to Menards or like a Home Depot or like a roofing, almost like a roofing contractor supply house, like an ABC. I don't know what's around you.
Yeah.
You'd be able to ask for a waterproofing, some type of like cement waterproofing, and it's a roll-on grade. And you would just do like 2 simple little coats on the outside of the wall. And now when you go to backfill, you're filling in all those, where it's finding the weak spot to find it to get in. So it's like, in a sense, it's not allowing it to go through the wall. But I would say treat the outside, don't treat the inside. Because if you treat the inside, the only thing is you're doing is masking the problem.
Right, because all the water's still getting...
It's still sitting
behind
that
wall. Right.
So by, and it would take a little bit or a printer.
I'll walk out here and show you what it is, because it's all concrete already. That whole trough.
Well, see, I think that somebody...
They were trying to do something with it already.
They tried everything, but they tried not the right thing.
It's just a low spot. That's just low right there. Everything just wants to run right to that. Here, I'll show you. Oh, shit. I gotta figure out.
They're trying to do that so that it wouldn't wash out. And I can see what they're trying to do. But I think that's only like a little 3-inch little concrete pad there. And the water's still able to go right in front of it and go around it.
Yeah, see, the concrete goes all the way up against the bottom there. You can see where they tried to put some kind of filler or something there.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying something. But in a sense, all they did was make it lower and made it trough.
Yeah, all it is just low right here now.
Yeah,
all the water just sits right here where it's going in the garage.
Does to the right of you, if you were to spin right, does that start to get lower, or does
this is over here? Well, it's fucking mirrored image here. Stupid.
Okay.
So towards the end of the house, it's kind of higher because the water there will run right back to this low spot.
Where you're standing, where's the low spot in the yard? Is it behind you, to the left, or to the right? Or it's all kind of like the same?
It's all kind of the same.
Because even you digging, like if you were to put a French drain right there, and then you were to dig out into the yard, and then dig like
it goes out here,
right,
and then to this corner, and then there's a pipe right there that sends it down the hill.
Okay, so it sends it down. Maybe that's clogged, or maybe that it was there, but then they put in that concrete, and all that water can't get into it now.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like it's like right through here is just a high spot. All the water just settles right in there. And I'm like, fuck.
two different types of that pipe too. There's one with a white sock on it, and then there's two different holes. And the one with the white sock will stop all the silt from silting. A little bit more, but
Yeah, see, because then the water stops about right here and just pedals in
yeah,
right through here, like it's low right through there.
even I can't guarantee that, but even putting that little pipe on top of that concrete and then burying it in, as long as the pipe can go somewhere and it's downhill, so the water will flow, you could get some of that water out of there. It's just trapped. It has nowhere to go.
Yeah, it just has nowhere to go because that low spot right there.
But if you were to bury the pipe lower and make it so that it could go somewhere, and then even dig like a 2-foot hole or a 4-foot hole and fill that up with like crushed limestone, and then like put like a piece of like fabric over the limestone and then put topsoil there, you would have like essentially like a dry sump or a spot that can absorb more water. So then now that French drain could drain to that, and it would have a place to go and absorb into the water table easier.
Right. I mean, because everywhere else seems
work that. That
well,
piece of concrete there might be actually hindering you instead of helping you. What's out there on the ground?
It is. It almost looks like it's just a low spot in that concrete right there. Like if there was a way to, you know, fill it up a little bit, make it a little more grade towards the house, you know, away. And then, yeah, that's what I was thinking, putting some pipe in. And then,
with a trencher, renting a trencher, and then now you could adjust the depth so that you're getting like maybe like an inch drop every foot or every 2 feet that you go out. So you know what I mean? So if you start out at 9 inches, by the time you get to somewhere, you need to be 16 inches. You know, if it's several, it's like 40 or 50 foot run, then you can drop the pipe gradually like that, 1/4 inch to 3/8 of a grade. You know, that water will flow from there.
right.
And then, like I said, you would dig out the side of that, and I would repair the outside of the foundation, not the inside.
Yeah, there's different things I guess you could seal it with or something.
It comes in a 5-gallon bucket. You stir it up, and you roll it on, and you put it on, and then you wait 4 hours, and then you go roll it on again, and now you got enough.
Right.
Sometimes you got to put a little bit of caulking at the footing to the wall, and you got to have a nice little 45 cant, and you got to like trowel it in. But that's not. I do that stuff all the time, like waterproofing on the side of a building after it gets built with precast and shit like that. So it's not that hard.
Yeah, I don't.
You could do
think it was just I just never done it before, so I didn't have a clue. Just know
it's like painting, but it's really thick. And it's just, you just got to eventually get down and get the wall clean enough so that it will stick on it, you know? And once you get it exposed, you get it dry, you get it clean, then you roll that shit on, you let it cure, and then you let it start to harden or cure, and then now you can backfill. But that's, you know, it's like, it'll be I think you really need to get out that piece of concrete, that little trough. I think it's actually hurting you. It's not helping you.
Yeah. You think I need to just, from where that edge is right there, just get rid of that?
And dig down and maybe trench in a whole French drain pipe and then clean out the foundation, waterproof the foundation, and then make that go around the corner and either tie into that field drain, that tile that goes out to the road, that's if it's not clogged, or put in a new one, or somewhere, you know. But if it is a good field tile that goes out to the front of the road, then yeah, I would suggest that if you can tie into that, you would expose that and then put in a key, like a field tile out in like farm fields. That's pretty, you know, just PVC and it's really easy to work with.
Yeah, I had no fucking clue. I'm like, oh, I mean, it's not a huge leak, because there's still a lot of water sitting in there, and if it was really leaking bad, it would probably be draining right into the garage,
Right.
But it's still a low spot where every time it rains, it's going to puddle up with water.
And also, too, that if it holds water there, that humidity level in that room will be higher, and it could breed something else, or it could be a bigger problem at a different time, depending on how much rain.
Right.
If we have a really wet spring, you might be like, "Fuck, man, I got to clean this up every day." I don't know.
Right.
But that would be my suggestion, would be definitely taking care of the outside, getting the water to run somewhere else, bring up the grade so that it pitches away from the house. Clean up and waterproof that wall on the outside, because it is block wall.
Yes.
Those are porous, unless they're like solid filled, but not all of those walls are solid filled walls.
Well, no, and being concrete and being mortared, the mortar, it breaks out over time.
Yeah, that and sitting under grade, those aren't the best things to be having sit underneath grade either. It's not like a cured concrete wall, because they are hollow. So
right. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, man. First rain. I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah.
I did have a tent sitting right there, though. It got wet, but.
Right.
But, I mean,
you're like, did I overwater? Did it pour out the bottom?
I'll be honest, I instantly got on the phone with the mortgage company and the fucking real estate lady, and was like, what the fuck? You guys, come to find out, my realtor said, hey, do you want to have the inspector come in? It's like $300. And I said, well, isn't USDA doing an inspection? And she said, yeah, they're going to be. I said, well, then if they're doing an inspection, there's no sense of me doing it, paying for an inspection. And then when I talked to the mortgage lady, she's like, oh, no, the appraiser said everything looked good, so we never even had an inspector come.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm like, what
or
the
you
fuck?
don't notice the small things, or I mean, and if like back in the day when you used to have a Fannie Mae, or you had that type of a loan, and you had to have that type of inspection, it would be that make sure that the handrails were at the right height, and that the GFCI plugs were not going to electrocute you if you were washing the dishes, and it was just like certain. It wasn't necessarily on the condition of the house. It was to make sure that, like,
safety.
Yes, it was, or it was also to make sure that you're not trying to take out a Fannie Mae loan for $180,000 on a $20,000 house, that there wasn't like fraud.
Right.
So that's where, I mean, and it also depends on just how thorough the inspection is. I mean, certain people will overlook certain things. Other people just, they won't make a big deal, but they'll be like, we could make a recommendation, that it's possible this could be a problem. It's how the wording of it.
Right.
When I bought my house years ago, I think it was like $250 or $300 also. It was pretty expensive, and I still had it done, but we still bought the house, even though he had made recommendations,
Well, and even if I would have paid the $300, doesn't mean they would have caught it.
But the only thing that would have probably allowed you to do is, if you would have caught it, then you might have said, well, I see a problem here in the past. Will you give me earnest money, or will you give me a point, or will you give me $4,000 off the house so I can make these repairs, or will you make these repairs proper before I buy it?
Right.
It all depends on how you word the mortgage or the sale of the property. So
it's just frustrating.
It can be, and that's the worst part about owning a house, is now it's when the hot water heater goes out, you ain't got nobody to call but yourself.
Right.
Or when the roofing's done and it's 15 grand, you're like, holy fuck. God damn it, that's a lot of money. But that's certain projects nowadays can get really expensive,
The real estate lady, she told me, she said, "Oh, well, if it's that big of a problem to you, you can always list a house for sale." And she's like, you're into it with positive equity, so you could sell it really quick. And I'm just like,
sometimes to be able to get that money tax free, you got to live there for 4 years and homestead it. I don't know if it's still that stipulation.
Or USDA, yeah, I think I have to be here at least 2 years.
Yeah, before you can try to up, or till you can make it a rental, or till you can sell it. So
that's crazy.
It's home ownership. That's the pride of it.
Yeah, so I definitely need to get that area out there cleaned out, and it's got to get to grade.
I bet you that concrete is thin as fuck. I bet you it's only 2 or 3 inches thick. With a sledgehammer, I bet you'd be able to crack that right off.
Yeah, because I probably wouldn't even really need that concrete. I mean, I understand their thought of it, but
they were trying to make like a gutter to be able to get it away and stop it, but
they didn't grade it well enough.
Maybe it's too level there, maybe it and two, where is it going to go? Just to the corner there, and now it's going to sit on the other corner and puddle?
Well, it goes to that corner, and then it hits that pipe and then runs down.
Right. Well, maybe that pipe doesn't have an entry into it. Maybe it does. I don't know.
Well, it's just that low spot. The water's not getting high enough to even get to the corner of the house. It's just settling right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's settling right there and then just pouring into the garage. I mean, it's just small. It's got to be a small leak, or I think there'd be a lot of water in the garage.
Right.
I mean, but there's enough. I mean, I've been watching it. It hasn't gotten any bigger.
How long has it been raining?
Since, I don't know, middle of the night last night.
So that's on Nuggies backstage. So what is that? Only like that's like a 24-hour rain, or a 12-hour rain. So what happens if it during the spring and it rains for 2 days straight?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You might
what happened?
Water in there. Maybe it will carry it.
What happened, Grap?
Oh, the outside where the fucking, like, their concrete drain thing they put around the outside of the house there's a low spot, and it's fucking building up water, and it's leaking into the brick foundation of the garage. Here, I'll show you. See? Right in there. It's fucking leaking in.
Where is the grade compared to where the bottom of the floor is on the outside? Because where that concrete is there's still
that slope to the garage. Is that slope down to the garage?
Yeah,
but it's got like a gutter. They put in like a concrete gutter right there. I could go back outside.
It's just they built a pond. They built a cement pond, and it's holding water, and it really has nowhere to go. It's not like graded right.
Yeah, it's not. There's a low spot right there, so it's puddling up.
You're gonna have to.
Well, I said to break up the concrete, put in a French drain, maybe tie into the front drain if you can, and water the wall, and cut in a nice, like a silt pipe to go in, because I think he has a tile that goes to the front that runs through his property or something. So if you could tie into that, you could carry that water away. Or I even suggested maybe like 40 feet away somewhere, trench down a pipe, make a hole, fill it with limestone, cover that with like fabric and then fill it back up. So then the water has somewhere to go and sit besides right there by the house.
Yeah, just what fucking shitty grade. They didn't. I mean, I think if that was graded right there, that water not sitting there. I mean, ugh.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to put some type of French drain in to get that away from the house garage.
Yeah, they've got like a concrete gutter along the foundation there, and it just that spot is just a really low spot. When I was taking the shovel and shoveling water away, all the water would just run right down. It would just
Where's
run
it coming through on the foundation?
Yeah, it's right there at the floor.
right at the floor.
And it looks like that concrete on the outside compared to grade of the floor is only down like another 6 or 7 inches.
So they have this shit that you can. It's for cracks and foundations.
Hydraulic cement.
Yeah, the hydraulic fucking quickcrete or whatever it is.
Is that what you're talking about? Well, I was telling him to go like after he was
See, because you can see right there.
Yeah, I see where it's coming from. Somehow
I would go on the outside of that. First, you got to fix that.
Yeah, so
and get that sealed up out there.
That's what I said.
I'm probably gonna
want the inside.
Like Hills said, I'll probably have to break that piece of concrete right there out because it's too low.
Well, it's only holding water in a sense, or it's not. I mean, it's trying to divert the water. It's just a band-aid, is what that concrete is. It's not actually trying to fix the problem. It was trying to help the problem in a sense.
Yeah, because it just holds water now. At least if it was dirt, it'd probably soak in some.
Correct. Or if it was down to a pipe where that water could continue and then it would find its way into the tile, then it could go somewhere else. Or, but like I said, the water pressure wants to find the easiest way in. So it's going to find its way in through the joints and everything. So by exposing that wall and waterproofing that whole wall, that corner where the wet spot is, that's going to be the biggest solution, is to stop it from infiltrating the basement.
So need to like dig that all the way down to the bottom of the footing, like you said.
Yep. And then at the bottom of the footing, because you don't want the water to be any higher than that, that's where you would put the drain tile and connect it, trench it around the corner, or take it somewhere else, so it can soak in somewhere else.
Right. I mean, like I say, it could be a lot worse. I mean, it's been raining pretty much all night.
I mean, maybe this spring it won't be that bad of a deal,
Well, like I said,
it's like mildew that's on the block.
If it starts downpouring for days, I don't know. There might be an issue.
Oh, I just doxed myself.
Oh, I didn't even hear what you said.
No.
Because it ain't doing it anywhere else. And it was crazy because along this other side of the house, I don't know what they got going on, but it's all graveled and, so like they put something out there. They probably did it right on that one side. And I was looking and they got stuff you can seal. Like I could get stuff and seal the bottom of this, but all that does is hide the problem on the outside. The problem's still there. You just don't see it on the inside, which eventually is going to probably create a bigger problem.
You could go get DAP paint, or you could get Flex Seal or something like that and put it down in there, or, even a silicone caulking. But the pressure's still going to be there. The water's still going to want to infiltrate it.
Right. I got to get the water away from the house before I do anything.
That's my suggestion.
And then, of course, there's no gutters on the backside of the house.
Okay, so that right there would be just even putting a small gutter on there. That would stop, instead of having the gutter on the ground. Now you'd be able to have a down pipe and be able to put in a 6-foot side chute, and it would be 6 foot away from your house right there on the corner.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even a gutter, you can go get the gutter pieces at Home Depot or Menards or whatever, and those aren't that hard to put up either. Or have a gutter guy come in. It's usually probably about $8 a linear foot, but that's also your down tubes. Those also are paid at $8 a linear foot. So it's just not the run of the gutter. It's how much total linear foot. But yeah, 8 to 10 feet is probably standard price nowadays.
I mean, it's not raining outside right now, and it's kind of starting to dry up, but it's still an issue. I gotta fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to fix the outside before you do anything, or the outside of the building before you do anything.
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't, like you said, the pressure and the problem would still be on the outside. All you're doing is masking the problem on the inside.
It's almost like you got water stains on the ceiling in a room. Well, I can go and paint it and I can make the room look good, but if there's a roof leak, I got to fix the roof to get it, you know.
Right.
Sometimes you got to work from the outside in and not from the inside out.
Right.
As soon as I seen you live and then I started listening to what your problem was, I was like, yeah, I'll talk to him.
I was sitting here because I was talking to Mikey Bowes, and he was telling me how he helped his buddy fix the basement wall and stuff like that. And then I was like, you know, I bet if I go live, there'll be somebody that.
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of. What hat do I need to put on today?
What's that?
I said, what hat do I need to put on today?
Right.
Now it's the homeowner's hat.
Well, homeowners, and then I got to bring 2 hats: my homeowners and then my construction hat.
Yeah.
The mortgage lady, she's like, "Oh well, welcome to home ownership." I'm like, "Fuck, I've only made 1 payment."
Yep, that's it, buddy. That's shit. That's what I was kind of waiting for too. Like, what's going to be the first thing that's going to be wrong?
I just wish that she would have disclosed that, because I could have dealt with that. I could have already. This problem could have been dealt with already.
Right.
It could have been, like I said, it could have been a stipulation of you buying the house. You could have forced them to do something different there.
Right. Or take some money off because I got to spend money to fix it or something.
You know?
I mean, I'll get it figured out. I just
up real good, and you know, they got lucky that it wasn't raining when you bought the house.
Yeah. Right.
You're definitely going to have to do some type of little French drain. Dig around the fucking foundation right there so you can see where it's leaking. I don't know if you can see out there where it's actually going.
So what do you, like, can you dig that down and then seal the foundation and then put gravel in there and then a pipe and then more gravel on top?
You're gonna have to run that water away from that spot, basically.
Yeah.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna take that, you're gonna dig around it, get that fixed, and then wherever that is puddling up, you're gonna want to run a pipe away from your house underground, which is the French drain, and have it run to somewhere. Either tie into another French drain that's in the yard, which you're not going to know if there is one, probably.
There's past the corner of the house, there's a whole nother ditch dug out with a fucking pipe in it.
Okay, there's your French drain. So tie into that and done.
I think it's
Go
like a
back.
drain tile for the backyard or for the back side of the property that it's holding too much water, and they have something to relieve the water from hitting the foundation is why that's there.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
but the
how
water
far
doesn't
back
even-
it goes, but it's right there on the corner, and then it goes to the front of the house.
I mean, the water sits in that little low spot, so it doesn't even go to the end of the house to hit the pipe.
Right.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to make it. That's the point. You're gonna have to make it do that.
And let's hope that other drain is actually that deep. Either that, or you would literally just have to trench it and maybe trench a new one in somewhere to a lower spot in the yard so it will drain.
Yeah, I don't know what your yard looks like to know.
I'll go back out there here in a second. It's not raining.
Well, give me a second. Let me smoke my cigarette real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I got my phone with me. You can go out there whenever.
Because there's already a previous or some type of drain tile that runs through there.
Is that what they were doing with the concrete? They were thinking that was going to be their drain tile. They just never finished.
No, that concrete looks to me. That concrete looks like the footer because you don't have a basement.
Yeah, I don't think it's down far enough.
No, it's not down far enough. It's like 8 inches above the footer.
I think that they might have put one in there, but it doesn't go anywhere.
I don't know. I have to
Then
see
they
it. I can't
cemented
see it.
above it, and now it's not able to carry away. It's seeking down in the wall because they never closed up the wall.
Fuck, it's starting to rain again. Ooh. See, look at that. See what they did here on the side of this house? This is all gravel. But here's this trough. And it runs right to here, and then it's all concrete along here. And then right there's where it's leaking, right where the shovel's at.
So what's in that little box in the trough? What is that at the corner?
They've already had this issue.
Right.
There's a pipe right there, and it runs right down. See the line?
Yeah. See, that's what they're trying. They're just they buried.
They just did it wrong.
Ooh, quit! You're fucking muddy.
And it's like that pipe isn't low enough because to be able to drain out everything at the bottom of the footing, you would still need to be down another 8 inches.
Well, from like right here to right like here, it's really low. It's where all the water's sitting, right at the corner of the house.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's like a fucking creek right there. You're gonna have to
I gotta
dig
break
all that out. You're gonna have to dig that out probably about another 10 inches, 12 inches deeper.
I would say
Put a
run
pipe
like a
in.
trencher and run take that one out and run it right down in there and trench it. Trench the whole trough, and then you could adjust the grade with gravel in the bottom of the trench.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Take gravel and then use the gravel to make the grade, and then put the pipe on it, and then put more gravel on top.
Yep.
But I gotta break that.
Get it up so hard, then you could fill it up with black dirt and blend it in so the grass would grow there, and you would never know it's in there.
I would put gravel all the way around, just like it was on the one side of the house.
I'm talking about the trench that goes all the way out to the front of the road.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, where the pipe is. Right.
Yeah, you can leave that gravel trench there or the flower bed so that the water's able to go down into the French drain at the bottom of the footing, so the water can't sit up against the wall.
Yeah, you need to make that deeper.
Yeah, where the low spot starts on the concrete. Bust all that concrete out, dig it down some more, so that way there's actually a spot for it to run.
Yep.
That way,
and waterproof the wall at that time, and then then put in a drain, and you will be dry as a bone.
I mean, I don't.
Definitely gonna fix that. They got a sealer for that shit.
Yeah, I've seen this black stuff they were putting on.
Well, they have that, and then they have like it's a quick cream material that Usually, if it depends how the crack is. Water will usually find its way through that.
Well, we're gonna see if McFarland can fucking redeem himself after last night. He's fourth right now in the ARCA race.
Oh shit!
What did he do last night?
Crashed out in a lap 6 of the trucks. Went into turn 4 and got loose and basically wandered up the track, smacked the guy next to him, and then spun out right there. But that's where everybody spun out. Even like Hoskovar, he spun out there. I think four or 5 times and fucking went through a bunch of tires, but he never hit the inside wall. But a bunch of people were spinning right there off of turn 4. It just the way that the car gets upset and the bumps right there. That's in the trucks. That's the hardest spot to drive.
Yeah, what track was that?
Daytona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even Tony Stewart ended up getting wrecked out of the race. I think Travis Pastrana finished 15th, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I think he made it into the top 10 finally. So, and I think they had one more teammate. I think he still finished too.
Who got number 1?
A no-namer.
Yeah, that's
Somebody that stole it at the last minute because they were wrecking right before the.
everybody reckoned and he was able to scoot by.
Yeah, somebody went to block and he jumped down towards the yellow line and skimmed across number like 32 or something. I have to look back at who it was. Not who I wanted to win. Let's put it that way.
Unknown.
He's probably I should probably give him more credit. He's probably better than that.
Well, he is in NASCAR, so he's probably a decent driver. And I'm sure gutters would probably help out there too.
Yeah, that too. Both of those would. I mean, all 3 of those things, you would make that so that there's not a problem there. You know, it's tackling each stage of it. But yes, the more waterproofing or the more water diversion and water mitigation that you have on in that corner, the less problems you're going to have.
Like right now, I can't even go out there. If it was all dirt, it wouldn't be a problem. I could just go dig it down a little bit deeper and let it, let it run down. But with the concrete there, I can't do shit. Like you said, it acts as a fucking concrete pool.
It just holds it. It's not actually taking it away.
I'm just curious.
The concrete's porous, so then over time it can soak through. You know.
I was kind of upset, and I was in a lot of pain. I explained everything.
So what's everybody doing today?
I'm just being a lazy piece of shit.
Watching NASCAR, and then I got dinner reservation at 5:30 at the Indian buffet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, me and the old lady like to eat Indian food, so
I thought Valentine's Day maybe people had.
It's a special buffet, but they at the restaurant we go to, they took away their buffet like right during COVID, and they haven't had it ever since. But we used to go there on a Sunday, like all the time. That was like our Sunday, you go there for lunch and just like fill up.
Oh, I love a good buffet. I mean, dang.
Yeah. But you got to like Indian food too. And I mean dot, not feather. It's not like fry bread.
Ooh, a lot of that stuff's spicy, isn't it?
Yeah. Some of it's spicy. Some, it's just flavorful.
Yeah. They got a lot of flavor though. Yeah. Well, that's cool. You're not taking your little redhead out, Nugget?
I did that last night.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it sucked. I had my tent. I had a tent sitting. It wasn't set up, but it was just sitting on my 4x4 was sitting on the floor back there. It got wet.
That was also part of the reason why when I used to grow in the 4x4 or even the 4x8, I had those plastic pallets, was to keep it off of the floor just in case the basement, because it was known to flood from time to time if we got a lot of water. So
I mean, thank goodness everything else I got in totes, so they're all in plastic totes, so nothing can really get wet.
But I think when it was like 2 years ago, it rained fucking so much that night. And I think I didn't go to work the next day because I vacuumed water up until like 3:30 or 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
It was like 6 hours of vacuuming up water because it was just kept on running in through the wall cracks. There was just so much water that day. But it's got to rain a lot, and I do mean a lot, for it to leak like that down in my basement.
I think everybody that's taught this stuff is
Like maybe like twice and maybe 3 times in the almost 20 years that we've lived here.
So everybody just stays their own damn dude and let people attack you and go back. And I think it's
I was putting my headset in, that's better.
let me run up and help.
You know, the worst part is in my basement, I have a drain in the floor that's in my main room, but the water in the basement, if it was to flood, doesn't even go there. It goes like in my back room where I draw water and where like my water softener and my RO system is. That's the lowest spot of the fucking basement. So if it starts to flood, it runs away from the drain into the other corner of it. So yeah.
Well, eventually, I mean, like the inside of the basement, all the brick along the foundation, none of it was sealed or nothing. It's all still, eventually I want to seal it all too,
Sure. Well,
on the inside and the outside.
you could fur it out with 3 inches or 1.5 inch wood, attach it to the concrete block, and then put on mold resistant like a basement or green board on the bottom course, and then put regular on the rest of the wall and the ceiling. And you could finish out that and make it a nice drywall finish in there very easily, and fur out
Well, what
a little bit.
I was thinking is because it kind of sticks out a little bit further still than the wall. I don't know, but I was thinking of epoxying the whole garage floor and then just going up the walls. Doing
There you go.
the
That could work.
blocks too.
That I would do the trim work first. I would do the walls and like 9 inches out from the wall when you epoxy it, and get that all nice and let it cure, and then tie into it and do the floor afterwards.
Yeah.
It's monolithic. It doesn't matter which one you do. But then you can work your wall and work with and get it all nice and get it coated and make sure that you don't have any light spots, and then work the floor later.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
2 separate. Don't try to tackle the wall and that at the same day. You might be overwhelmed when it comes to the corners and the getting the walls thick enough, because it's hard to keep it up there. Depends on how you got to put it on.
Yeah, because the shit will just want to run down.
Yep. And then you don't want it all thick at the base and thin at the top. You want it uniform. So do it in small coats for the walls, and then you'd be able to You know, it might take a 2-step process on the walls to get that all nice like that, but yeah, I bet you that would turn out pretty nice.
Yeah, do some kind of. That's what I was thinking, but fuck, it doesn't really matter until I fix the outside.
Yeah. And then I'll tell you this: when I did my epoxy floor in my basement, if you think you're gonna need 2 of the fucking, if you're gonna put the flakes in it, if you think you're gonna need
Yeah,
2, you're gonna need like 3.
yeah. Just
Or
get an extra,
4,
because
you know.
I went to put up my 8x8 tent last night. I opened the box, start pulling out the fucking, and it's missing a corner piece.
Oh,
So I'm like, fuck. So I got to send it back. And so I said, fuck it. This is the second tent I've had to send back. So I started pricing out just building a room. And I can
missing a fucking, that's stupid.
I can frame the whole thing and sheetrock it for fucking the cheaper than the tent.
Right.
You know, that's not sheetrock on both sides. Cause,
right.
I mean, but still, like the tent's like $400, and just sheetrocking the outside of the room and the studs for a 10x8, which is bigger, is only $280.
And sometimes, like I did, if depending on the type of insulation that you use to be able to heat or cool that room, you could just do minimum studs, skip the drywall, and then now with a good staple gun and some good tape also, you can just panda film the walls so that they're temporary, you know. And
yeah, that's what I thought about.
And
yeah, that's what I thought about doing on the inside of it. It's just putting that panda film, because even if I put sheetrock in there, then I got to finish the sheetrock, then I got to paint it. You know, the white paint. You know, and I don't mind doing that eventually, but.
Well, my basement is open floor joist right there over my main room. So all I did was take the inch or inch and a half pink board, the Pink Panther foam board.
Yeah.
I was able to sheet it with that and screw those to the joist. And then I was able to panda film over that. So not only did I get like a substrate, but I got some insulation to stop the heat transfer between the upstairs and the downstairs, you know. So that room's a little bit more stable. I mean, that mini split doesn't have to work as hard in that room because it's not open. It's not trying to heat or cool the whole basement. It's only trying to heat or cool that room itself. Besides the door in it, I mean, there's still an air gap in the door to be able to get it to swing, but that's the only air gap in the room, basically.
Right. And see where I want to build the room at, there's a window. So the window will be in, because I'll split it, you know. What I was thinking is it'll be 10x8, and then I'll do a 6x8 flower area, and then a 4x8 veg area. And then where the flower area is, the window's there. So I could put a window AC.
Yeah. Window AC, and then you could also if you're running a dehumidifier in there, then you could run a pipe out the window also, so that you're not producing that heat inside the room, so you're not offsetting, because that's, I mean, sometimes when you're trying to cool it and you're running a dehumidifier because they're fucking sweating and they're drinking so much, you're like, motherfucker, the dehumidifier, it just raises your ambient temperature in the room. So if you can pipe that out, that would be sweet too, having that window.
Right. Yeah, it would. I mean, I wouldn't even mind. I mean, the garage gets a little bit cooler. I mean, it sits about 57, 60 degrees. So, I mean, I could even pipe it right out the wall into the garage. Yeah.
Well, I bet you that back room will stay 5 or 6 degrees cooler than most because it's partially in the ground by that
Yes.
feet or whatever, you know.
So the concrete, yeah, the concrete bricks and the concrete floor
Yeah.
being, I mean, geothermal, they're gonna, you know, stay at probably 55 degrees.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like another besides the water I was afraid of in the basement. That was another reason why I put those plastic fucking pallets in my tents, was so that my plants weren't sitting on my concrete floor at 55 or at so
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stone wasn't being chilled, you know. It was at least insulated in the air or off of the concrete.
right.
I don't know, just theories that I had that I always
It's just
knows
all I gotta,
brought them home.
I guess all I gotta do is just break out another fucking credit card. Fix the outside, stop that fucking water issue, build me. I need to hurry up and get the fucking room done though, because I need to flower some. And it's just too cold. I got a space heater in the 2x4 right now with plants, but they're just cold. They're still 74 degrees.
I tell
I'm
you right
sure the
now,
root zone's probably 70. They're just not warm enough.
I wish I was retired because I'd say I want to go kayaking and I'll come up and I'll help you for a week. That'd be a great. I'd go camping or go get me a cabin somewhere and go kayaking for.
Yeah. Hell yeah. There's a lot of kayaking spots here. Well, you know, you've been here.
Yeah.
You're close to Blue Springs.
Well, that's why I said that. If I was retired and I could just fucking take off, I'd be like, we're going kayaking in the spring. We'll go fucking do this.
Yeah.
A month or two. But you probably, I mean, if you can deal with it a month, it'll probably be easier once, you know, unless it all depends on how far south you are. I mean, you might be right in the snow belt for the next round or two that might come. I don't know. The fucking snow's weird this year.
It's not supposed to rain again until let's see. Yeah, it's not supposed to rain again until the 25th. Yeah, today's rainy, and then it's not supposed to rain again until the 25th.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm gonna have some time, and eventually, I mean, home ownership. Eventually, what I should do is kill all that concrete around the house and do the whole fucking all the way around the house.
If there's other problems, or if you can see other water staining, then, you know, or if there's standing water in other corners, maybe that is the lowest corner of the property, and that's only the main problem. So
yeah, I don't see it anywhere else. Everywhere else looks like almost brand new brick all the way around.
So it's just the way that, you know, maybe, or like what you said, there is no gutters there. Maybe that section of roof, with the valleys and the way that the roof concentrates the water, maybe when it does rain, that 50% or 45% of the water that comes off of your roof comes off right to that corner. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know the design of the roof. If it's just
it's just a normal pitch. It's not very big.
Cable, or if there's a hip right there, or what, you know?
No, it's just a fucking slope down, and then the other side slopes down. It's pretty basic, like a basic roof.
Just a straight gable.
I just think, like you said, I think it's just where the water concentrates on the property. It kind of just slopes that way to that side, and they just didn't. They left a low spot. So all the water just funnels with it.
You know, they tried to what they could do. It's just it wasn't to like the right level. That's all I'm trying to get at. Yeah,
they're probably, you know, it's probably an inch, you know, lower right there than the, you know, so it's just enough in that decent section to puddle up the water. And of course, like we say, you know, fucking
Well,
that brick is porous, and so if there's any kind of pressure, it's going to find the least resistance. And
they could have hid that completely and just filled up that whole thing with gravel, and you would never be able to see how much water's sitting right there against the wall.
right.
So at least
Well, they kind of did because they put all the leaves. They like raked all the leaves into that concrete gutter. So when I went out there, I noticed it leaked. I went out there and figured, oh, well, I'll just go out there and fucking clean the leaves out of there. And fucking, I cleaned the leaves out. And then I noticed, oh, fuck, look at all that water that just puddles in there.
Yeah.
Look,
I bet you, and really the way it looked like, if you take a level out there, it's probably not pitched enough so that the water just sits there until it fills up to where it's an inch and a half or inch of water. Where if it was pitched to the side of the house down another half inch, now it would just naturally flow. But I mean,
yeah, where it goes towards the corner of the house, it seems like they got the fucking cement just too high, so it just created a little bowl right there. So if I even went to the corner of the house, busted that out, and dropped it down, it would give it somewhere to run away.
Oh, where it wouldn't be sitting against the wall. Yes.
Yeah.
It's usually like you want a 1/4 inch per foot almost. Or
per foot. That's the same as a roof, right? Isn't the roof similar?
1/8 of an inch per foot, I should say. So you got 8 feet to 1 inch.
Right.
But if you want good water flow, you want a 1/4 inch, which that's only 4 feet for 1 inch.
Yeah, I want good, I want it to run away. I don't want it to like puddle up and slowly run away. I want it to just go. You can go out there and watch it just running, keep the water away from the house.
Or at least in the first, I don't know, 8 to 10, 16 feet, you would want a 1/4 inch run. And then once it gets away from there, then you could switch to an 1/8 of an inch, so you don't have to trench it or as fill up. So you get more. You get what I'm saying. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You go back to 1/8 inch once you get the water to run faster. Then when it hits the 1/8 of an inch, it'll still flow good. But
right. I mean, they just got the fucking concrete. Yeah, they just didn't. It's not good enough graded at the corner going to that pipe because it just runs right back towards where it's low. Because I was shoveling water towards that pipe, and when I'd stop, you see all the water that would go that way. Let's just start running back towards that low spot.
Yeah. And then also too, the pipe's probably higher than that. So it would have to fill up pretty high for it to actually flow down the pipe. So the inlet of that pipe needs to go down. See, I thought now that I see it and I saw the little box there, if you pulled that all up or just even left it there and buried it and then dug a trench from there to the street or wherever that ends, and then you were to go along the side of the house and bury that black pipe and put the silt sock on there, that water will run right out to the front of the street into the city sewer or the city, like on the hill or in the curb. Or
it'll just run right down past the driveway down to the next fucking farmer's field. Yeah. Okay, well that helps out a lot because I was really stressing it, and now I realize it's not going to be as big of a deal, really. So all I need to do is go out to the corner of the house, bust that out, dig it down so there's somewhere for the water to run, and then just slowly grade that to that pipe, and then put it.
Well, the pipe might be higher, so that it might.
Yeah, I'll probably have to dig that out more too.
Right. That's part of the problem too, is that it probably used to work before they put in that little trough because the grade was higher, but if you put it down at the bottom, then the water can't sit against the wall at all if it's down towards the footing. But if you,
I'll have to dig that down. Might have to go
Get a
I
mini
mean,
excavator. Hell with it. Let's go rent a mini excavator.
my son's girlfriend's dad, he's really cool. He helps me out. He's got a mini excavator.
He'd be able to probably an hour's worth of work, probably dig the trench, or maybe he even has a trencher where he just bury
Yeah,
a
he might.
yeah.
But yeah, a quick fix for now would be definitely bust that concrete out right there and let that fucking shit drain out of there. Stop that pooling. Get some gravel in there and run that shit away from the fucking.
Well, it's
But
still
like
gonna,
you say, I'm gonna have to.
right. It's still
Still
gonna
gonna have to.
the foundation. Once you bust out the concrete, it's still gonna want a pool in that corner of the house. So eventually,
Yes.
yeah, I'm just saying that would be how to open that up, be able to dig it down. Then I would say, I would use a waterproofing on the outside, some type of bitumen, or there's even shit that comes like in a sheet where you roll on a glue or a primer, and then you lay sheet goods, and it's all nice, and then you caulk it all off, and you just it. They're like 3-foot
Yeah.
strips that you can hang. Sometimes you would have to work from the bottom up so that your water laps are good, but that stuff's easy to work with too. Hanging sheet goods like that as waterproofing, like a ice and water shield in a sense, but it's like it's made for soil contact and made to be buried.
Yeah, I watched one video. A guy, he put that black stuff all along the foundation down there, and then he took that peak insulating foam and put it up against there,
That's like a
and then backfilled it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Or you can also get a dimple mat, which is protection board, so that the water and the silt can go all the way down the wall. Sometimes you put on the dimple and then you put on a protection so that when they throw on all the backfill, it doesn't fuck with your waterproofing.
Yes, that's what he said. It protects the waterproofing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of skipped that part by telling you about a protection board. I was just trying to tell you to waterproof it just so that it
Yeah.
done. But yes,
It just shield it. Yeah.
yeah, you can get like 1-inch fucking pink board, and then you would have a little bit exposed, but you would bring it right to where the finished grade is, and that's where you would grade to, and you barely see it.
Yeah, I don't even care if you see it, as long as the fucking shit don't leak.
Yeah. You just
It just sucks. I've already fucking coming across haven't even been here a month and already coming across my first problem.
it happens.
Especially with water. I hate water because fucking water, man. It always finds a way in, it seems like.
Yeah. Uh-oh, where'd he go? I've been talking instead of watching this race. He's out. Oh, there he is. Where is he at? He's back up. He's probably back in the below 20. He's currently 30th. Okay. Come on, let's go win this race.
Well, that helps out a lot. Thanks, Jules. I wasn't really sure. Honestly, what I was thinking I was going to have to do is just go in and put some more concrete in that trough to try to raise up the level so it didn't puddle up right there. But
that would be
makes
one way, but that's putting another Band-Aid on it because it's still below that.
Right.
In all reality, it's still leaking below that point. So even you carrying the water away isn't where the water's sitting. The water, I think the water's sitting at the base of the wall. It's just not running down there. It has to be pooling up. So it's like you putting the pipe even lower and then getting grade to carry it out to the front. It can't sit any lower than that. Maybe that's like where the bottom of the water table is, believe it or not, on your property, where there's, in wet weather, there could be an inch of water at that 3 foot below grade right there. There's an inch of
Right.
water, you know.
Right. Well, I'm looking at the water that's pooling up top, but I'm not even thinking about the water that's actually, like you say, the water table being lower.
It could be
It couldn't.
right at the footing,
Right. 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 That should be not too bad. Even if I had to hand dig it, I don't think it would be that bad.
I really, it's going to be a little project. It's going to take you a week or so to probably get it. But once you get that all exposed and then be able to put in your pipe all the way out to the front, and it might even stop the water from puddling up on that side of the house too. I think there was an air conditioner there or something.
Yeah.
It goes out to the front. By that, even having the perforated pipe, it's going to take all that water that comes from that side of the house and it's going to funnel it out towards the road versus infiltrating towards your foundation. So, yeah.
Right.
It's just going to.
Yeah, I don't know what they did over there where the side where they put the gravel in, but like I said, if you look at that on the outside and the inside, the bricks still look brand new. Like there's no water hitting it at all there.
And then, so after you got in the pipe, then you waterproofed the outside, you landscaped it, you had your grass all back together. If you wanted to go the step further, now you put a gutter there, and then your down pipe would be sitting right in above where your trench is. So that water off of there soaks down in the pipe and goes right out to the front.
Yep, it would go drop right down into that perforated pipe and out and around.
3 foot, 4 foot away from the house, so that you're not putting it right down at the foundation of the house.
Right.
There's like, that'd be the professional plan. Like if we're gonna throw a belt, suspenders, and some extras at it, this is what we're gonna do. It's
right. Well, I'd probably put a downspout down enough to where I could put like a rain barrel.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. You could even have a rain barrel on it, and then now you could put a garden hose on the bottom, have gravity feed for your little garden that's right there that you're going to fence off. The dog can't get in.
Right. Yeah.
Grow some tomatoes or some Japanese tomatoes next to your tomatoes.
It's kind of weird because the front side of the house, the whole front side of the house, not the garage, but the whole front side of the house has a gutter. I don't know why they took the gutters off the back. Unless, there's a bunch of trees back there, a lot of leaves. They probably got full of leaves and never got cleaned out.
We better get you some gutters out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to get rid of those trees anyway.
Away the problem.
They got leaf cards now.
I bet you they had fucking leaves building up, and she's an older lady. She probably didn't clean them out, and then they probably fell down or something. Got too heavy. And
there was probably originally a downspout on that side, but then all the leaves filled up the downspout, and then it started leaking there, and then they started working on around the foundation and to fix it, and they just never went deep enough on the foundation and fix the problem, and then put the gutter back on there or whatever. I don't know.
And then just didn't grade it well enough. Like I said, it's a little pool right there with concrete. So you got a pool in concrete sitting up against the concrete foundation. Just a horrible idea.
To me, that looks like an ongoing fix. Like somebody's just keeps on throwing $100.
Right.
I'll try this. I'll just try to do that instead of like doing it right.
Right. Just break the concrete back to where the fucking where it starts pooling. Just take all that out of there, drop it all the way down, and then just grade it to the fucking other pipe and call it a day. Yep.
It just looks like PVC pipe, like 2-inch or 3-inch pipe, just laying.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, that's just. I don't even think that's perforated.
Maybe that's how they even originally that's how they were trying to take the downspout away to the front of it, you know.
Oh yeah, maybe they had it ran to the downspout originally or something.
Yeah, because you can get a squared around adapter, so you
'Cause
can do a round pipe like that, no problem, under grade. Because then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like a Schedule 30, a green pipe, and you don't even have to have the perforation on it, so it can't fill up. And you could bury that and put that out the front of the bank, and now the water will be carried all the way away from your, you know. You don't need,
right,
you really only want the black pipe where you want the water to soak into it. From there, you want to be able to carry it away and not necessarily soak up more unless it's needed
right,
there, you know.
right, right. Yeah, once it gets away from the house, you don't need that perforated. You should have a normal pipe that
Like
everything drains into in a way.
yeah. And they make
'Cause
adapters
if it,
go squared around, and I think some of the round is probably cheaper than some of that big, because some of it you can go depending on like how big of a length you need to go. You would go like a 6-inch to an 8-inch, or you would go a 4-inch to a 6-inch pipe so that you could carry all the water away and it would flow. And
right,
they make connections or downsize connections.
right.
And some of those farmer fields, man, they got like 12, 14-inch culvert pipes that are buried. And then so far, with the amount of water that's going to carry, then it will either downsize down to the outlet pipe.
Right. I mean, I haven't looked under the house yet. There could be other leaks, I suppose, on that backside.
Is it got a crawl space in certain areas?
Yeah, there's a crawl space in the garage. It's pretty decent.
That definitely maybe send your kid in there. Go take my phone in there and take a video so I don't have to crawl around in there, or just watch your head, or get you a little scooter chair and you might be able to scoot your way around in there, and with a good flashlight, unless there's lights in there. Yeah, I would definitely go look on the inside of that crawl space too. Make sure there's no other, water sitting up against the foundation.
Yeah, I bet you. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a few other issues, little leaks along there. Eventually, I'll probably have to take all that concrete out.
And what, the house is 20, 30 years old or so? Or is it
older? It was built in, what was it built? I think 2000.
Okay, so it's
no. Yeah, 2000. Yeah.
26, so it's it's a 30-year-old house in a sense, and things break down or the
settle and shit. Yeah.
I mean, there was probably a gutter on the back. If it had a gutter on the front, why didn't it have a gutter on the back?
Right. I'm sure there was. There used to be, I'm sure.
And then it fell off because of the tree, or there was a tree closer that's been ground out and it's no longer there. So
I'm just gonna have to fix the grate around the house. That's just all there is to it. I mean, it doesn't look like anywhere else is puddling up except that one spot. And that's the only spot that I've seen without, I mean, I haven't looked under the house yet, but the only spot around the garage that I've noticed.
Definitely call Julie before you go trenching anything. Make sure there's no gas line, no water line, no nothing. It's a free call. I think it's what 711 or 611 or something like that. They'll come out and they'll mark all the utilities in your yard.
Oh yeah, I wonder if that's part of the problem. Because right there where the low spot is too is where they have the ground for the electrical. I don't know.
Shouldn't be.
I just have to break that, get that low spot out of there, grade it over to the corner of the house, and because I was like, okay, I'll just dig some out and just make it flow that way. And I'm fucking trying to dig. I'm like, God damn it, it's concrete all the way out to that other pipe.
Damn, he's still not in the top 20. How many? We got 25 to go. He dropped out. Where's he at? 28th. Is he even on the fucking lead lap anymore?
That's what I was just going to say. Is he a lap behind?
He might even be a lap down. It doesn't say. It just says manufacturers and like it doesn't actually say laps down. It just shows all 40 cars on the track. Yeah, I was almost hesitant to pop up here because this race was starting and I wanted to watch it, but I didn't mind. I've been watching it and talking to you. So,
well, I appreciate it. I figured going live, somebody would know. So,
yeah, there's only certain people I actually get like notifications like right away that go live.
Well, I'm glad you popped up anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
It's good to talk to you.
Yeah. Been working steady. Fucking it's thawing out and the next couple weeks look like they're supposed to be on the upswing. So I don't know if we're in the clear yet, but usually this is one of our worst months for wetness, but not this year. So usually February was a real nasty, just a nasty fucking month. You didn't want to be outside any day in February.
Yeah, it hasn't really been bad here either. I think this might be like one of the only days that it fucking rained.
We're supposed to get rain maybe Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday, I think. So I got to finish up this little project I got going on here pretty soon so I can get it all watertight before it rains into the building.
Have you started growing again yet? Didn't you take a break?
Yeah,
I thought you took a break.
I've tried to make a plan by the end of this month. I want it to be a clean room, a fresh start, start getting back down there, getting into the rhythm again, maybe popping some seeds, but haven't committed to that plan yet. So laziness, procrastination. I still got weed. Fuck, I'm
I
still
was going to say, you're probably not.
dude, I still smoking the Mauve cut. Like I still trimming up everyone
Really?
Mauve cut, bro. I
Wow.
got like, well, I think there's still eight whole plants. So let's just say that there's 2 ounces or an ounce and a half. Let's say an ounce. So there's 8 ounces or 10 ounces of Mauve cut still that's like crystally as fuck. And all I do is rehydrate it a little bit and it
Yeah.
as it is. I mean, it's good.
I
The way
just-
it's cured. So
Yeah, I mean, that shit, I just fucking grind it up and roll joints. I love that shit.
yeah, but yeah, I still got Mauve cut that I'm still smoking on right now, actually, decent sized ones too.
Yeah. What's it taste like to you? Some people say grapefruit. Some people say
I would say,
orangey.
well, it's not orangey enough. The super booth that I had, I called that Tang. Now, this I was hoping that it was purple, but it was like that Tang flavor, that that tangerine, that
Right.
like that super booth I had, and then I fucking let it go. And that's when, like, in discussion, you were like, well, I have this super buff.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a cousin of it, but it's pretty. It's pretty, but I'd more call it the grapefruit or like a fruity pebbles. It, but it's not like one particular fruit, but it has a fruit terp to it. Yes,
Right.
a sweetness.
And that's the great thing about everybody having different palates, because I mean, some people like it, some people don't. I just feel like the flavor just is so strong, it just follows through all the way. Like in a joint, you get it all the way through a joint.
What I like about it the most too is about smoking this is that you get a flavor in smoking it, but then if I leave the room and I come back in, I'm like, man, that's some dank ass weed that's being smoked in this room. I mean, it just has a certain burnt odor.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily smell it when you're sitting here smoking it until you get fresh air and you rejuvenate your palate on your nose, but you walk back in, you're like, fuck. Even me, I have some in my trim bin right here that I just cutting up, and I put it in there a day ago, and I walked back in here and I'm like, it's letting off its own, but I don't smell it in the house because I got that charcoal filter that's like on 1, and it just barely even spins. It kind of filters out the air in that room where some of this is still, there's still plants hanging. It isn't in bags. It's still hanging on the stem,
Right.
down there in the cool, barely humidified basement right now, and it's just, I don't know, that's where it's been for 3 months. It's curing.
Ty, what up, dude?
My 4x4 already dried out. That's good.
It's
Yeah,
still
the humidity in the garage, the humidity right now is 66. 57 degrees, 66. Which I'm not angry with.
well, if you're going to chase your VPD, you better raise the temperature in there.
Oh, for sure. I'm probably going to throw all these fucking plants that I got away. Start over.
Yeah,
That's the good thing about ADHD, having super buff cherries and having rotten roadkill. Those are the two I just didn't want to lose. But he's got clones.
See, there was this big clone market that was going around all the grow shops, or a lot of them, for a while. And some of those cuts in Missouri, because that's where I got my cuts from originally, was from when Gamer brought them to me because he was coming in town for a wedding. But he was getting it, and there were some good cuts out there, it was the grower talent to finish them after that. But
Right.
Somebody had bought some cuts and they had spent a little bit of money, and they were selling them, for $50, $40, $60, $100. I don't know what he was buying them for, depending on how many you bought too. You
Right.
buy 8 fucking cuts that day and spend $300. Okay, well, we'll give you the whole fucking pallet full. We're gonna have more next week, and you can come back and get another 8 flavors. And you start mothering them out, and then you clone them.
I've been seeing them here going for like $40 a piece, or 3 for $100.
Yeah, I mean it. But is that the cut, or is that their seed?
That's whatever. Yeah, that's just whatever. That ain't the cut. That ain't like the one that was found that is the one, you know.
Correct. I mean, in a sense, at that green market that I went to, and that's what I kind of did, where I had the best of mine, but at that point, I don't think I actually flowered them fully. And then I had taken all those cuts, but they were the best ones that I had grown. That
Right.
was my cut. That wasn't the
Right.
cut.
Right.
You know,
That's what you found, right?
correct. So out of running all those seed runs that I had, so yeah, the roadkill, that was pretty decent that he brought me. And I think I kept that and the buff cherries, and I think I kept one more, but that's right when I got spider mites. And I fucking dipped all those plants. They were all small. I dipped them again, and then I isolated them, and then I tore down the whole fucking tent. But it was like within that 2-week period of me getting these cuts is when I was like, I got bugs. That was not October, and I still had like 5 weeks left to go in that flower run, and I'm like, it was just into flower, it was like I was 2 weeks into flower, and I was just like, man, I'm not spraying these fucking plants with nothing, and I just killed everything. That was kind of heartening, but then it came back, but I just started smaller than.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna I'm just gonna reset. I mean, at this point, by the time I get these plants are fucking. I think the roots are just too cold.
Yeah, maybe even isolating it, putting a piece of that pink board on the concrete and get those off of the concrete might help. Or if they're not on a table.
Well, I have them. Yeah, I have them on a table, on one of my 2x4 tables. It's elevated in the tent, but
yeah,
it's still they're just not. I mean, I don't even want to show them. They're bad. Like a whole tray of cubed ones are fucking. The leaves all went purple and fucking. They're all drooped over and fucking.
But you just moved them from one environment to another, correct?
Yep.
So you changed what they were used to. You got to work on that environment to be able to find out what's going to make them happy. That's part of the grower talent right there.
Yep. I mean, they're not happy, and part of grower talent is once you got shitty plants, you just fucking fuck it, shit, Because they all look like shit. I'm just gonna end up throwing those away, start over. I do have Super Buff Cherries S2 seeds that I made though, so
yeah,
let me just go ahead and pop some of those.
What did you cross that with? Itself?
Yeah, I just selfed it. Yeah.
Okay. And you're talking about mauve cut.
Yep.
Okay.
And I've grown it out before. I grew the seeds out before, and it was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Same color, same taste.
Me still handling it after it's this cured. If I'm not wearing gloves, I end up with purple fucking resin on my fingers from me picking off shade leaves, bucking
popping, popping them oil glands, them purple oil glands.
It totally stains and it gunks up my fingertips. I mean, you can get a nice little piece of finger hash if you're using gloves. Yeah, I think I have probably 5 or 6 grams still of keef from when I trimmed it all up and bucking it all down, and then taking the shake and kind of breaking it down a little bit over the screen. So you're not totally like just grinding it up, but you're getting at least everything you can off of the buds. I probably got a nice jar of that shit still, but almost burns like hash, where if you put it in a
It
joint,
does.
it's all lopsided. It doesn't burn
It,
straight
it,
through.
it does, and it oils up, and it like cakes, and it just doesn't burn right. I've
Yep.
done that. Yeah. Yeah, the joint gets all like fucking wrinkly and shit right there where it's at. And
Well,
yeah.
or it'll burn up one whole side because the weed is burning, but the keef isn't. And it's like,
Right.
fuck, you know.
Yeah, and it gets super hard. Yeah.
Oh, I've packed them too tight when I put that keef in there, and then they won't burn at all.
Yeah, they won't burn. No.
Like you
Yeah,
can't
I've done
how many
that.
times on the tray when I roll with those cones. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. And then you're fucking trying to puff through it. And you're like, God damn it. And it's
Right.
like, yep, I've done that same thing. And the purple Afghani that I got from the cut that I got from ADHD, it's not purple bud, it's green bud. But once you grind it up, it's purple. It's kind of weird.
It's on the more of on the inside of the flower.
Yeah. Yeah, like a real true purple bud. You know, like
I've seen that.
not from cold.
Yeah. Well, neither is the mauve cut, but
No.
yeah.
But that's just purple through and through. Or
Yeah,
mauve. Mauve.
When I showed people that grow, or in the, I think I had 3 of those, or 2 or 3 of those, but a couple people local had seen it, and they were like, "Why does it look that way?" I'm like, "That's the cut, bro." And they're like, "I've never seen purple weed like that before." I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah, it's I think it's something special.
That's not freezing it out like you would get a certain Afghani weed or whatever mountain weed that would get cold on the last finishing, 15
Right.
days, and would bring it in like the shade leaves and into the crow's foot and maybe just into the tip. No, that's different, That's literally a purple parent to a purple parent, and that's the genetics that it has.
And it's crazy because most people around me that have super buff cherries, they have the green.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the green. Nobody's got the mauve.
Right, or that's a Tropicana cherry
Yep.
trait that came back in that.
Yep.
In
That's
that,
exactly what that is. Yep.
that's where it picked up that purple was Tropicana cherries.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
that's one of the mothers to the super boof. I don't know what the other, what the mother or father is. I don't know which one is which, but the other parent is something else.
Right. Which is, again, it's kind of funny because super boof is just a pheno of Blockberry. Blockberry was the cut. Yeah, it's called Blockberry. And,
So,
and
Grow more.
Super Buff just happened to, yeah, he
bought some seeds, and he found his cut that he called it, and he developed it and sold the seeds.
yeah, he found the 26, number 26 or whatever he's telling everybody is the great cut and blah, 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 and which is the green. And then I think it's Blockhead is the guy's name. He took and did a pheno run and found the cut that he calls Super Booth.
Right.
But I mean, it's Super Buff cherries. It's just he called the cut that he found that he really likes Super Booth. And then he bred, then that ended up going back and being bred to Tropicana cherries.
I mean, you only have like probably, I'm just going to say, and I'm making up this number, but you only have like a 10 or a 12% chance when you go popping seeds that you're going to find something different than the regular population. But something's going to pop out, but you have to pop 100 to 200, let's just say, to actually find 1, 2, or 3 of them. But so in our 10 pack, we might get that one, but 9 times out of 10, they're all going to be relatively right on par with each other, you know.
Especially when they're feminized. I've found like feminized, I've ran a lot of strains of feminized, and it seems like a lot of the feminized are all pretty much the same. You might find one that's different out of the 10 pack, but
well,
majority of them are pretty much the same.
The reason why is because it's basically genetically locked, you know, so it's not picking up a trait and mixing itself, or in a sense that
Right.
Right.
There's nothing else for it to pull from because it's being self to itself. Right. Almost like inbreeding, really. I mean,
yep. Until you get it to where it just looks all the same and you get it to be stable, and then
it's line breeding.
And that all that gets confusing to me, and I'm not really into breeding. I just understand, you know, like what a feminized seed is to a reg seed, and like I don't know how you get there and how to breed shit out.
It's kind of like breeding dogs. You know, they'll breed dogs back to like a granddaughter back to a grandpa or something like that. And if it works, they're line breeding. But if it doesn't work, it's inbred. But it's all realistically inbred. I mean, it's you're breeding family to family. I mean, like
if you want that color, that height, that size, that color of eyes, and those traits, you can't have any genetic sway. You know,
right? You have to go back to the same thing, or otherwise you're going to take a big chance of losing something.
See, I didn't really know that those seeds came from that's where what was the guy named what was Grow More Stress Less's Seymour? No, not Seymour.
Grow More Fire.
Stress Less, but it was, I forget what he went by. Not Vito or not Seymour. He went by something else, but I don't ever know what happened to that guy. He made his money and left, and I mean,
I don't know.
Setup that he had, and fucking that was like, it was a lot of money, and like,
yeah, and I just haven't seen him around. I don't know.
He had a great.
I mean, I'm subscribed and everything. I just haven't seen him do anything.
Yeah, ever since Boss quit, and you know, he got built up. He got excited about that, and then he released those seeds, and I've never heard anything back from him.
I mean, we started working with Craft Farmer, and they put out a whole line of seeds, and they put out a seed box, but that thing was like $2,000 for that fucking box.
Sure.
And then I just haven't heard nothing after that.
You know, that was right in where the market got off of growing weed and it got into making genetics. Because everybody was going to be able to grow at home, so you could pick what you wanted to grow. So that's where that whole trend, you know, like right after COVID, you know, 2020, like really became popular. Was let's showcase the best weed, and now you can buy the seeds for it, and it's going to be, you know, fem seeds or whatever. That I'm pretty sure there was a bigger fem market, but that's when like the whole weed game and growing at home like really became popular, because at least in certain areas, you didn't want to go over and go see your dealer at that point. You're trying to stay at home.
Right. Well, and then when COVID hit, a lot of things hit. Like everybody became ball python breeders. Everybody became, you know, once everybody had to stay at home, everybody started doing these things that they didn't normally do, you know, and I feel like the making seeds is the same way. And it's starting to die out now because everybody went back to work. So fucking life, you know, and now everybody's, you know, and then unfortunately we have a lot of strains and phenos out there that are just shit, that aren't that good.
Too, wasn't it? What, 22 or 21 when there was the big purge on YouTube for weed content? So all these big names, they got all deleted, and they got like disheartened, and they put in so much work, they had grown their audience, and bloop, nope, we'll just delete you, a mass deletion, like right in then too.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, the sad part is there are people that have been on YouTube for what, 15 years, and they're still trying to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty sad.
And that's where Boss came from. I mean, he had been watching all that shit in the background, knew all these channels that were still around, and he was like, look at what this guy's doing for 15 fucking years. You don't have to do it this way. He's calling them out.
Yep. Yep. I haven't even smoked any weed today yet. Right now. I haven't, I don't know. It just seems like I don't smoke as much.
I will be.
The more weed I have, it used to be the more weed I had, the more weed I smoked. But now it's like the more weed I have, it's just like, eh. Oh.
And then Hilla found a 4-inch arrowhead. Now it was one.
Can't believe there's no fights on tonight.
It's Daytona.
No
baby.
fights.
No, Valentine's Day. Gay.
Gay.
There's like no fights on at all. Not even like
Well,
undercard shit.
well, they don't want to be the cause of domestic violence tonight.
Yeah, that's probably like 6, 8 inches down.
I think it's 1 or 1.5 blocks down from where that concrete is.
Yep, that's about right. Yep.
So it's like 6 to 9 inches, and then the footing should be 12. So 6, 8, 10 inches would be the footing, is my guess. But yeah,
That looks about right. Yep. Because the footing should be right at the level of the garage floor, right?
or it'll be the bottom of the footing would be approximately, let's just say 8 to 10 inches below where it might even be a foot, because you got 4 inches of concrete, and then you have fill, and then you have support. So below your floor, let's just say 12 inches to 10 to 12 inches is where the bottom of the footing is. And that's where you would want to carry the water away, because that's the furthest part that it can soak down to. And if you're able to carry it away from there, it's not going to puddle up above.
Right. Yeah, it's only 3 bricks high.
Which is 6, 12, 18 inches. That's as tall as the wall is right there.
Yep.
So, and I think there was two bricks exposed.
Yep,
So-
on the outside. Yep.
On the outside. So then you got 6 inches of brick, and then you have up to 12 inches from there. There would be the bottom of the footing. So if anything, you would have to dig down 12 to 18 inches, and then now make a new run of pipe to grade off, and all that water would not sit there.
Yeah. Put some gravel down there, and then fucking use the gravel to grade the pipe to go the direction it needs to go, and then put some more fucking, put some more on top. So that way it's, any water that hits there will easily drain down to that pipe and drain away.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially if it's the lowest spot. If it's lower than the footing, it can't rise up above the footing, so then you're good.
I'll show you out the window here too. You can tell they tried to grade the property because
Let me switch back to that view real quick so I can see. Okay.
so you see the hump right along there. On the other side of the hump is a trough, and the trough runs all the way along. I guess I gotta go this way, but it runs all the way along, and then runs down the side of the property over on the other side.
It almost looks like that they tried to level it out a little bit more because it was 2 foot. The grade came straight to the back of the house.
Yeah, otherwise it would have ran straight. So they put like right there is like a divot all the way across the yard, and it runs all the way to the end over here,
that corner,
and then runs right past the power pole right there, and then it runs down. And there's like a gutter all the way where it runs all the way down.
And they might have buried a culvert or like not really a culvert, but a like a field tile out there. And what you're seeing is the settling over 15 years or 20 years ago when they did it.
Yeah.
They actually made a swell in the landscape to be able to try to carry that water away. There's two different.
Yeah, that's what kind of I feel like. So, they put the swell in there because it's a pretty good. I mean, it could have settled right there, though.
It could be an accidental drainage, or it could be on purpose. That's hard to tell. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Grandpa could have done that himself, and it wasn't. He's just doing it the way he wanted to, and that's why it.
This house was built by her dad. Yeah. Because again, no building permits or codes here.
Correct. So I mean, was there waterproofing done on the outside of the wall? No, because it was probably good for the first 10 to 15, 20 years, but then over time, it just. With enough freeze and thaw up against that foundation, now there's a small crack in the outside, or the mortar joints chipped, and now the water can get into the footing, and now it comes in. So I mean, sometimes it takes a while before the problem shows itself. I mean, hell, it might be 30 years until you go, holy fuck, my soffit is all like rotten and falling apart because there wasn't proper ventilation, or there was a leak in it that every single spring got it wet. You just don't see it.
Right.
Sometimes you don't look for those little things, like what I'm doing at work right now on a church, totally tearing apart the whole soffit, and there was probably 10 pounds of rotten wood up in there. All of the framing members are all rotten. There was no wood left up there. I don't even know how that section of the roof was. Well, I do. It was it's
weird. It's just weird how it only appears to be leaking in where it's puddling outside. Nowhere else along that back wall there, it's all completely dry. Just that corner edge where it's puddling up outside.
That's it, outside crack, so it finds its easy in, or like I said, that just happens to be the lowest spot of that section is where that footing is. So that's where that's how much water's in the ground right now.
Right.
That could even be it, I mean, or the type of fill they used there on that edge of the house after they built it. It could just be the type of fill that holds water and not.
It does look like they tried to patch it a couple times outside. Like they've taken a quick creek and just tried to patch along the edge there instead of.
That's why
you said, they just keep piling, patches on top of patches.
basically throw another $100 at it this year. See if I can get it this year
Yep.
instead of spending $1,800 and fixing it right in the very first spot. That might not be what their budget allowed. So we'll throw 100 at it this year.
Right. Right. They just kept throwing fucking patches on it.
What else can we do? I don't know. Grandpa,
Throw some more concrete on it, right?
you know, well, we'll just make a cement trough right here and we'll carry the water over to the corner and it won't soak in. Poor execution, you know. Still, now it's just a tub.
Yeah, now it just fucking pulls and holds all the water.
This allows it to soak in slower.
Right. The leak's a little less. Well, at least it ain't leaking as good as it was before.
I slowed it down.
But that explains why she never had a fucking. Because that's where the dryer goes. And it used to be where the washer went. And she said the pipes were freezing on that side. So she had to move the washer over to the other wall. Well, I'm starting to think maybe it was just fucking puddling in water right there. So she moved the washer on the other side.
Also, make sure that dryer vent, that the hole is cocked up good enough on the outside. It could be fucking running right in that dry. I saw that vent pipe that was sticking right
Yeah.
there. If it's open, you might want to make sure you got one of those little louver doors on it.
Yeah. It doesn't get quite that high, thank goodness. But it's hard to say what they had going on because, like I say, in the corner. Dang it.
What'd he do? He left and left us in charge? Oh, there he is.
There we go. See, because they had, like, originally the washer was over here,
Yep.
right at this corner, and that's where the dryer goes. And then they moved the washer over onto this side. And she said the reason why they moved the washer is because these pipes would freeze up.
Okay, so there's not enough insulation around them, or she was thinking that the pipes were freezing up. It was actually leaking in from the floor, and the floor was always wet. And that's what the plumber told her is, I got it fixed. We'll just move it over here. I don't.
Right. And then, but what was this? They had these coming in too.
That would have been. That
Where
looks like,
looks like where the utility sink, where
yep,
the utility sink used to sit.
yep. That's where the sink. That's the drain.
And then this drain just goes right outside.
It's not hooked up to anything.
See it? That's like an old cistern trick, or you would dig the trench and then you'd go dig a pit and have like a leach field. So then now you
Right.
could, because that's like some people, instead of filling up your septic system, you would have a little leach field, and that's how you would wash your clothes and spit out all that detergent water, and you'd put it basically in your ground and let it leach down through all the like limestone little pits that you would build.
I wonder if that fixes the fucking mirror image. Yeah, it did. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they've had problems here before. They just were fucking moving issues, you know. They just started moving shit. And that's probably why there was never a dryer here. There was a washer when we moved in, but not a dryer.
They've just moved stuff to the internal wall because they could plumb it in there easier than going through the external. But yeah, looks like a dryer vent there in the corner, and it looks like
Yep.
the sink drain there to your right, and
That
then,
used to be the sink.
and then
Yep.
the washer.
And then the washer was there.
Yeah.
So they had the washer and dryer here, and then they had the utility sink here.
Yeah.
And she said those froze, so they moved it over onto the interior wall here.
Which why couldn't they have instead of moving over there? To me, they could have cut open the drywall and insulated the pipes in the wall and made it so that they wouldn't freeze.
Well, it makes me wonder if these pipes didn't freeze. She just said that, but what the issue was is this water was puddling in, and so
It was always a wet spot in the basement. You know,
yeah, there's no water. There's no water here.
they're probably disconnected now.
Yeah, they're disconnected. I was curious.
It probably goes up.
But see, here's the pipes.
Oh, they come
Went
through
up into the wall.
and then into
They come through.
oh, they're buried.
That's why I'm saying like it was freezing. So these just must have run to here and then up.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
So these were freezing. Just this little amount. Like
Or it was freezing because they aren't deep enough below the freeze line down in the basement, or they're not insulated
yeah,
in the slab and they ruptured within the slab. I don't know.
yeah, probably.
Maybe there's a water leak down below the slab right there, and that's why there's so much water in that corner.
Yeah, there was no water there before until it rained.
Any of those lines that are still pressurized.
Yeah, I don't. It's just the water fucking coming in from. Let's see.
Years ago, we started building these houses, and they were all blueprinted through Texas. And in Texas, a lot of spots they put their hot water heaters in their garage space, and instead of putting them on the other side within like the utility closet, so that it's in the heated space. So they built like a couple hundred homes, and that winter we had built them in the summer, and then that winter, like everybody had problems in their garage with their hot water heaters freezing up and pipes bursting. So they had to go back in and warranty those and remodel the mud room and put in the hot water heater on the other side of the wall. It's just like certain things you don't think about until it happens.
And it's crazy because it starts puddling here all the way to the end of the house, but only that corner is where it's leaking in.
Look where the roof comes to stop at.
Yeah,
So
right over the top.
Right. And then you also have the look up a little bit. You have all that water that either it comes to where you're standing or it gets pitched onto that roof and then it drains right there where you just
right there.
Ground is where 45% of the water off of that back of that roof lands.
Yep.
So it soaks in right there and it has nowhere to go but sit against that wall.
Yep.
A gutter there.
And then you can kind of see at the end of the house, there's no way it could get up over the little hump right there.
Not unless it gets 3 foot or 2 foot deep, you know? Yeah. So a gutter, waterproofing, maybe not even the French drain. Maybe the gutter would work on the back tremendously, and you could stop it from leaking today if you were to have a gutter guy come out. You know, I mean, really, it would minimize the water that's sitting right against the foundation that way by pitching it out from the house.
Yeah. Hey, I got another question for you. You do roofs. So this is just a fucking, you see what kind of roof it is. With one layer, can you go over the top of it with metal?
Yes.
Or do you have to take the 3 tab off?
No, if you're going to put on a metal roof, you can go over those 3 tabs, but I suggest that you put down either 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, some type of like foam, and you have that screwed down. Either that or when it's raining, it's be kind of loud. But by putting that even fan fold underneath that, you start to deaden the sound. And the fan fold's pretty cheap.
Get whatever size your furring strips are.
Or well, a lot of times you can just put that stuff down and then now you just screw down into that. You don't even use furring strips. It depends. it depends
Well,
on.
if you want to shield the sound, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Put your furring strip down, then put get whatever foam you can find the same size as the furring strip, thickness wise,
Yeah.
and put it down.
Some manufacturers suggest like screwing in the top flange, or some of it is like pressure fitted where it's rolled over and locked in, or some you actually just screw it in the flat and you screw it down with a grommeted fastener. And if you screw down in the flat, yeah, the grommeted fastener is good, but over time, 15, 20 years, you really could have to go up there and change out your fasteners because the grommets fail over time and they'll leak, and it could leak right in that screw hole. So that, especially if they're over tightened.
Yeah, if you squish them to the little rubbers deals that are on there.
Leaders just wrecked. Haha. 25 and 15 just wrecked themselves, first and second.
Oh.
But how many laps to go? McFarland's running 17th right now.
Come on, get over here.
How many laps? Come on, show
This
me.
collar must not be working. Yeah, definitely indoor. That's what we're talking about. Got to get that fucking. I got that water pulling up right there on the outside, and it's leaking a little bit in the foundation into the garage.
Yeah, you have to worry about spray foam because you might spray too much. But that's why I said you can buy the pink board in like 1/2 inch or 3/4, depending on what type. If you are going to use furring strips, and then you got to lay out for your screwing pattern so that your furring strips are right on where your screws are going to go, and then you fill in between. You sometimes, to stop it from sliding down, you can either screw it, or you could put the furring strip at the bottom also, so that you have screwing there, and that will stop the pink board from sliding down the roof.
Yeah, you put it in between the furring strips, right?
Either that,
So that way the
I've seen it done where you don't even use furring strips because you're using 1/8 inch metal roofing that you clip in, and then you screw down, and you just basically you put up like button caps, and you barely penetrate the roof, and you just hold down the fan fold, and then you go over that. But that's just depends on how much you want to insulate the roof too, you know.
right. Oh, what up, crazy buds?
Shit, we use this stuff at work. It's called nail base, and on commercial roofs, they'll have like a metal roof, like steel studs, and they might even have a deck on it or some, depending. But then we'll take this. It's usually like 6 inches thick with plywood on each side. So if it was on just like steel studs, and then we would screw that down, and it not only it would give them a substrate on the inside to screw whatever, or just even that type of substrate, but then now you got 6 inches or 5.5 inches of ISO insulation, and then there's a nail base. Now you can shingle, you can put ice and water down, you could do metal roofs, but that shit's really expensive, is nail base. Pretty heavy too. Different commercial aspects. But then your like subfascia ends up to be like 10 inches fucking thick, not 6 inches or 5.5 like a standard subfascia would be, or a fascia board. Usually in commercial buildings, all your fascia is into the 10 inches to 12 inches tall for some reason. Scale of the building or whatever.
Yeah, because I'd like to eventually put metal roof on and then spray it with like that Alaska Maricoat shit. You know, that plastic with that,
I,
whatever that roll on or,
as long as it's not well, silicone's good, but once you go silicone, you can only repair it with a silicone. So just make sure that you get the right. Yeah, there are some, but if you were to get the roof should be good for like 10 to 15 years before you would even need to recoat it. And then, or you would do that and now it's a 30+ year roof,
right. 'Cause I know we used that on a shed once, and it really dropped the temperature. It really helped with temperature being so hot.
Especially when it's white or a different color, it reflects a lot of heat.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was white,
Yeah, but then
and I
also
just rolled it on.
getting a loose insulation blower and going up to the attic space and blowing in even $200 or $300 worth of blown in insulation might save you $80 a year in heat
Right.
or $80 a year in cooling. So just in 3 years, you're going to save that savings of spraying in an extra 6-8 inches of blown in insulation, because that shit does settle over time in the attic space too.
Yeah. They like sheetrocked the garage ceiling sheetrocked, and then if you look in the little crawl space to get up above the garage, they sheetrocked the floor of the garage up there too.
That was probably due to there was probably some codes that was probably to fire code. So you needed 2 layers of rock between the garage and the living space or the living attic space.
Kind of like a shear wall or something.
Yeah, so if
They do that.
if the car caught on fire, it couldn't burn right through the ceiling, catch the attic space, and then now it burns right to your bedroom.
Right, right.
It has to have a certain amount of burn time.
Yeah, we used to, when we would build houses, we used to like anytime there was the garage wall that met up to the house, we always had to shear wall it. You know, it took more screws, and you actually had to put OSB up before you put the sheetrock up. It was like some kind of a barrier.
Yep. More of a fire barrier. Maybe it was
Yep.
going to put up 2 sheets of drywall, two layers of 5/8, or you were going to use 1 1/8 core wall, like in between like townhouse units. Those were a bitch when I used to have to install those, because I think those were like almost 10 foot tall, and
Yeah, and the shear walls always had to have double the amount of screws in it.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I always hated shear walls because it's like, oh my God, so many screws. Yeah, who's winning that race? Who's in first?
They're for some reason they're not actually like showing the leaderboard all the time. So I know the standings, and right now they're like on a caution, I think, because they're showing a highlight of the last crash. There's been a bunch of crashes. People crashed out so far, and it's just the ARCA race. Still got trucks raced last night. You still got whatever. It's not the Xfinity. It's not the Cup races no more. But those are you still have Saturday and Sunday's race for this weekend. This is Menards ARCA. One of them is the O'Reilly's something. One's the Craftsman truck. I forget what the other one is besides the O'Reilly now. They change it all.
I woke up to that leak, so I haven't fucking done nothing but worry about that.
Vacuum it up, monitor it until you can work on the outside. Unfortunately, that would be if you were to call up a gutter guy and you got $80 or whatever it might be. I bet you could get that gutter whipped out and put that gutter on there with a decent downspout, and that will take care of like 60% of the problem today.
Right.
But there's still that residual water that's going to be sitting up against that foundation.
And then I guess that's probably why, like I say, I thought it was weird she had all the leaves fucking, because some of it didn't have leaves in it, so I knew it was there. I knew there was concrete there, but a lot of the leaves were like raked into that gutter up against the house. Like,
Yeah, well, put it this way, it hasn't been like that since 2000.
No.
So obviously somebody's tried to dig it down. They just never actually fixed the fucking problem. They just
Right.
amplified it, you know?
They just kept putting like you said, they kept putting a patch on it, put a Band-Aid on it, but the Band-Aids got so thick that now there's a low spot. They didn't fix it at all. They just made the problem worse and worse. Or maybe the problem was way worse, and it is a lot better than it was.
Maybe that sink was putting so much water right out there in the corner, and that's why it was leaking back through, and that's why they took out the sink unless it
and
actually
it settled.
sewer drain, and you know it never drained
Yeah,
right out there.
right. And pouring all that water out there caused it to fucking settle down right there. It created a low spot. Interesting.
Well,
So then they just threw a pipe. I don't know. That pipe just goes through the wall. It's closed off on the inside and opened on the outside.
the only name that I recognize right now is Kelly Earnhardt. That's Dale Earnhardt's sister. Her kid right now is running 9th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I didn't know he was racing.
unofficial results. McFarland got 11th. That Earnhardt, which is Teresa's kid, which I believe he's like 18 or 17.
I was going to say, I didn't even think he was old enough to race yet.
I swear he's in the 89 Earnhardt car, or that's who that is. But I don't Vargas,
Yeah.
Wood, Reen, Dye, Raz, Bowman. I don't know which Bowman that is, or the Regariano. He looks like he's about 16 years old. Gio Regariano.
Yeah, crazy about that. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I got a little bit of a leak coming in at the foundation of the garage. So I still got to get over to the other place and finish cleaning up. And on
Get
Monday, I gotta fucking
turn it over and
bring my Suburban over. Yeah, I still got my Suburban in my car over there.
oh,
Oh, that would be cool though.
well, you've been
We got
buying a house for like the last year and a half, I think.
fuck. I've been looking and finally, yeah.
You said that they were all the decent ones were either too much or there was nothing available around there for a while.
Yeah, there wasn't, or they're all mobile homes. And I don't want to move into a mobile home or a trailer. You know, I wanted to find a stick built. There's a lot of mobile home trailers around here.
It depends on the year, and it depends on if they got like an actual like foundation that they're sitting on, or are they sitting on just skirting?
Right. Most of them were just sitting on fucking pier blocks.
Yeah,
And I just didn't.
around, and you know, some of them they kind of like, well, a modular home nowadays, I guess, is more what I'm talking about, where they build a basement and then they bring in 2 trailers that are a left and a right, and they lift them up with a crane. It's still kind of 2 trailers, and they set them right down side by side. You got a double wide, but it is a stick built double wide, you know?
Right. Yep. That's the ones that are known for like 2 200, 300,000. And they're sitting, yeah, like the one we looked at, we really liked it, but it was like 40 acres.
Oh,
And it's just out of our price range. But it was done like that. They built out a basement and then built the foundation up and then set the trailers on the foundations. Which was really cool because the basement was fucking huge. But
yeah. Crop was looking at that one going, man, think of the grow room I could have down here.
oh yeah, and then they had, poles, like basement had poles. Every pole had a plug-in. And I was like, man, that's like set up for growing. Like shit. And then it had a huge 2-car like shop, but like you could fit 2 cars in each bay. So I guess it would be technically four car. It was huge too, and it was separated. So each side was its own side.
You
It was
talk
cool, but
like that reminds me of like when I was like in building rooms and I was growing a lot more. But I went to my grandpa's house after my grandma died and my grandpa died, and I was staying down in the basement, and it was unfinished except for like this little corner had like a computer desk and a TV and a couch and a rug on the floor. That's where like my grandpa's sanctuary was. But just looking at all that room, I was like, holy fuck, look, I mean, you look what you could do down here.
yeah,
The
yeah,
possibilities were like endless,
yep.
Hell, there was this one whole back room that had like a door and a wall to it that you could have all your space out of sight, and you would have room for tents and all kinds of shit behind the wall. That would have been sweet too. That was kind of like a basement closet kind of a deal, or storage room. Plus,
That'd be cool.
hot water heater in there. Maybe you could have insulated it and done something else. Maybe pumped a little bit of the CO2 from the hot water heater into that room and fucking helped you out. A buddy of mine did that once in the basement. He just didn't go down there very much, but he actually unhooked the fucking vent and just had the CO2 or the hot water heater as the CO2 generator in the basement for a while when he was growing. It was probably kind of dangerous, but that's what he did.
So do you think, because obviously I gotta fix the outside, but do you think it would be smart to seal the inside for now to stop water from leaking in, and then fix the outside, or
I mean, you
should I just not even fuck with it?
clean it up and stop the mildew and make it look better, and you could do it. But then this spring, I mean, the first thing, I would get a gutter on there, and like I said, that would stop 60% of the water that comes in on the floor from coming in. Now you just got to worry about the other 40% when the water sits on the ground there from what it running in the yard.
Right.
Right. A lot of that's coming off of that roof, and it has nowhere to go but right there in that trench. So it's just dripping constantly in that trench.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know what exactly, there's a way how to calculate it, that you take the square circumference of your roof, and then now you can figure out, let's say that you got a 1/2 inch in an hour, and then you can calculate how many gallons of water hit that roof surface. So then now you could say there was 90 gallons of water that every time that it only rains a 1/2 inch. I don't know what
Well, I know 1,000 square foot roof, 1 inch of rain is 1,000 gallons of water.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of water comes off the roofs. I mean, I don't think we had an inch of rain, but I mean,
right. That's why I said 1/8 or 1/4 inch of a rain, and I said 90 gallons. I mean,
yeah, that's probably pretty close. That's
a
probably
lot of water to get rid of.
Yeah, it is. It is. And if you got a low spot or a pool for it to just sit, it's going to do nothing but sit there.
Right. It has nowhere to go. It has no resistance. It's right. it can't flow anywhere else but into your house.
Right. And I mean, the water level out there on that concrete's already dropped a lot. So it's not running away. And if it's dropping, it's got to be seeping into the ground somewhere. So
That concrete was like, if we build a little, like a gutter, it'll carry it away from it sitting right here. So it was just like a temporary, or they were trying something to fix it.
right. And you know, it may have worked if there wasn't a fucking low spot right there. Because it looks on the other side of the house, it flows away, but it's a lot steeper of a slope though too. It has no choice but to run away right away.
Right.
What are you doing, Nuggy?
Well, shit. The race is over. Ooh, better get
I
your
didn't realize I was muted.
new seeds.
Sitting
Yeah,
here
I'm
listening to Triple G.
I'm probably just gonna throw away all the plants, get some clones from ADHD, and in the meantime, I think I'm gonna do some auto flowers while I build up more moms, just to have something. I mean, I got plenty of weeds so far, but just the thought of ever running out is, ooh,
Yeah, it's no fun. Yeah, but I think it's nap time for me. Y'all have a good day. Yeah.
all right, buddy.
All right.
I wonder where his genetics. His newest seed drop is Ghosted Banana Taffy.
Ooh, who's that?
Welcome to the Grow Tent.
That sounds pretty good. I grew up the
You buy a
Cherry
30
Atomic.
t-shirt and get the seeds.
I got his Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer 2.
I have the original. I got everything up until the not the Jedi skunk, but the skunk one came out, and then after that I quit buying through the Discord or whatever, or I think Discord actually got taken away from them eventually, or not Discord, Patreon.
Yeah, they got yanked.
It
I grew out the cash, and man, it's pretty good. I mean, I didn't keep it, but I mean, it smells like fucking like banana muffins. It's pretty good. It's just
right.
I just didn't have space and didn't keep it. I got more seeds, but it took forever. I got those through the membership, and I mean, I like Welcome to the Grow Tent and all. It was just weird because I joined the membership, and then it was, oh well, you have to pay more money to get the seeds, and it was like, wait, I thought you got the seeds with the membership, and it's like, no, you got to pay, whatever extra, and then it took a month to even get the seed, and it was like, I ain't doing that again.
I did through him because of my sponsorship at the Patreon at one point. I was able to request back seeds, and he sent me, I think, 3 or 4 packs of different flavors. Nice. But it was because I was a silver. I was given $25 a month.
Oh, that's cool.
I wasn't a bronze, or I wasn't a gold, because all the gold ones were given away a long time ago because he only had so many golds. But I was a silver, and it was expensive, but then at that point in time in the Patreon, if you were that, you would get them by requesting. You could go to the website and just ask for the free gift, and he would send them out depending on your skill or
your level.
But
yeah, he did because I joined right when he was doing a merch drop. So he wasn't sending nothing out until all the merch was in, even though I feel like if somebody joins and they don't buy merch and they're supposed to get seeds, you should ship that out. That's a separate deal. But he waited to ship anything out until he got all the merch in first. So it was like almost, I think it was a month, almost a month and a half.
Yeah.
And I kept messaging him. He's like, "Oh no, I just don't send them." You know, you happen to hit it right when the merch dropped. So he did end up sending me 2 packs of the seeds. So he sent me extras. But I just thought I was just like, I ain't doing that again.
And mine might be the second one, but I do have the cash, the cherry atomic sledgehammer. I also have there's a purple something or a grape something. I thought there was the strawberry samosas. I think there's 3 or 4. I think I even bought an additional pack of the skunk ones, and I sent a whole pack of them to ADHD at one point. That's where I got the pineapple, is what I was calling it. It was like a pineapple skunk or a pineapple cake. That's the pheno that I had, or that I found.
I think didn't Flyby get quite a bit?
Yeah, he was also another supporter that ended up with all the seeds. That's how he got his what he calls his lake weed that he cut his teeth on, and he grew it 4 or 5 times in a row, kept on cloning it out, and grew the lake weed for a while.
He's saying Cletus is saving NASCAR.
I don't know about Cletus is saving NASCAR, but he tried. Got 11th and crashed out on the lap 6. He's trying. I bet you that was one of the most watched truck races in years, was because Tony Stewart, Cletus McFarland, who else?
I can't
racing
believe Tony Stewart's still racing.
He's been retired for 10 years, and this was the first race that he came back. He's never raced a truck in his life.
Wow.
But he got crashed out. He was trying to ride around in the back in like 20th position, and he got crashed out by 98 or something. Same corner that fucking took out Cletus.
He normally gets pissed if he gets crashed out.
Yeah, he does. Well, because of his wife, but yeah. He
Yeah.
does dragsters now.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
He's doing dragsters.
He's getting old though, isn't he?
He's old compared to when they used to retire.
Older, yeah.
41, 42 years old from driving. You know, he's in his 50s. I mean, fuck, am I old? I don't know. How old are you?
Yeah, no, I said that, and I'm like, fuck, I'm almost 50, so.
Right. Are you old yet? It all depends on your thinking.
Yeah. No.
Think of some of those heroes that you have are your age, or they're 10 years older than you. It's like the same generation. Or how old are you? You know.
What classifies you as old? I guess. Like,
if you stop and slow down and fade away.
I like Tony Stewart. I was a Jeff Gordon fan, though. I mean. Is Jimmy Johnson still racing?
No, he's retired.
Yeah, I thought he was retired.
He retired with all those years, those good years with Chad Knaus, where he figured out how to out-engineer all these cars and had all the tricks. And he had so many tricks up his sleeve. If they caught one, he had another one to go back on the car tomorrow. You know, that rule book, those 6-7 years of all those wins, half those rules got written because of Hendricks Motorsports.
Well, I believe it. Yeah. I mean, there was definitely a reason why he was always at the top.
Well, they talk about it now. There's no like statute of limitations. He talks about how he had extra struts or to contort the back of the car, and it would suck in it would lower the ride height than it was like on a common dial that they were allowed to have, but it actually interacted with the car and would suck it down tighter, give it more downforce. And they were able to run that for a year or so until they caught on. And by the time they finally caught on, they had something else that they had figured out how they could build into the car or modify, you know.
Just little advantages here and there. That's crazy.
Look at the Jeff Gordon T-Rex car, they call it. After that car was never that was what's his name? Fuck, I can't remember his old crew chief or old before he went to Hendricks. But they weren't. Is it not Hammond? I'll think of the name in a second. But they were told to never bring that car back to the fucking racetrack ever again because it was all skewed and. But it was literally the Jurassic Park T-Rex car, and they weren't ever allowed to bring that one sitting in a museum somewhere because it was so cheated up.
I wonder why they didn't. I wonder why that you didn't ever see that again.
Well, I mean, they can always reskin it. Don't get me wrong, but that chassis number is known as the T-Rex car. That they weren't ever allowed to bring that one back.
Right, and you know that's the first thing they're going to look at is the chassis number just to make sure.
Well, there's certain chassis that even though they get reskinned and they go from a Ford to a Chevy, they might be around for 4 to 6 years. The chassis, you know, they can reskin the car, but it's the chassis which makes the geometry work in the car, the weight transfer, the way that it interacts with the ground, the where shit gets connected to the frame rails, and you know the ballast of the fucking frame. I mean, a lot of shit goes into that's the difference of old NASCAR to new NASCAR. So now they have to buy those parts from a manufacturer, and they can't deviate from that. There's no building the shit and making it better anymore.
Oh, it's all bolt on, just straight fucking buy it and bolt it on.
Pretty much.
No...
You don't have a choice of where you go buy your supplies. You have to buy through NASCAR, and they have somebody that manufactures, 1,000 of them, and you can buy X amount of components.
Right.
It
kind of takes away the skill of the team, isn't it? Because I feel like if a team figures out a way to fix their car in a way that is still in the rules, but it gives them a good advantage, and they have to do it custom or however, I mean, that's kind of part of a good team being able to do that. But
okay, so if you take out the I guess the difference in if I have $100,000 and you got $1 million, and you can spend $1 million on a chassis, you're going to win. But if we both have to buy the same chassis, now it's either in the motor or it's in the driver, it's in tire management, it's in racing skill. You know,
I mean, I totally understand that. That would be the same as like a football team, or a baseball team, like the New York Mets has a lot of fucking money. They can buy anybody they want, but there's got to be a cap to that.
Right. But you have the fundamentals to train everybody and get onto a team, or do you only have one starter or, one star player? Do you have a Michael Jordan, or do you have, a dream team?
Right. I can see that. I would rather the way it is now. I could totally see it because it wouldn't, just because the owner of that race team now, he's a fucking multi-billionaire. He can throw all the money he wants, and he's just basically buying the wins at that point.
Or sometimes that's why there used to be bigger teams, and trucks would have, or cars in general, teams would have 4 to 5 cars out there because you're getting more data, you got more cheat points,
right, absolutely.
5 different engineers looking at the problem trying to solve it versus having a 1-car team. Unless you're a really good engineer and you figure it out, you might struggle a little bit more. So
yeah, for sure. the rules just change. They figure out things, and like they try to keep an even playing field for everybody.
That's almost like last night in the truck race at the very beginning of it. The two teammates, they were running side by side versus 1 and 2 and pushing each other because then they could control the race for a while. They were locking everybody down and having them push them. So they had two locked up, but they weren't in a train. So they could stop the runs on the bottom or the top by moving over and taking away from them,
Yeah. And that's smart to do though. That's a good team, That's, I mean, being able to control the front or being able to control like that is those are good drivers. Being able to be like that without even, and just be able to control the way the race goes, basically.
Well, it used to be where you had to be somebody's kid that had money that was into racing.
Yep.
And then you became of age, and then you started out in the lower ranks, and then dad would kind of support you until you could drive his car, right? And that's but nowadays, kids can they can get a piece together or even a cheap one, or they get a sim, and they get so much practical feedback and knowledge of driving in a draft and in a pack where iRacing is like the new where you cut your teeth. I mean, a kid in New Jersey that's never seen a racetrack could actually go out there and possibly win because he's got enough experience or seat time. It just happens to be on a computer versus actual, but the feedback and the like geometry that the game uses is literally the real fucking feedback from
Have you ever watched any of those where those guys are doing those where they got the fucking like the video game at their house, but they got the fucking chairs and they got the whole setup and they're like racing, like real racing? Oh, that shit's pretty fucking cool.
Some people have $10,000 to $20,000 in there.
Yeah, I knew a guy. He was about 25,000. Yeah.
Where not only does it give you the sound that would be accurate, but you can actually feel the chassis slipping out of your.
Yep.
You feel it in your ass. You're getting feedback from the seat or from the sim where it's just unrealistic. I mean, it's so realistic that it's.
Well, they were doing that. Weren't they racing that way during COVID or something? Wasn't there a time that they were racing?
Yeah, there was like 2 or 3 different actual sim races where they canceled the race and they had all the pros sim racing, and I do believe there was a controversy where somebody won and they found out they had somebody else was sitting in their sim.
Oh, yeah, I guess that could happen. But I mean, just make it to where there's a camera pointed at you. I mean, at the driver the whole time. I mean, yeah, I've seen some of those setups. They are expensive. Like, even the cheaper ones aren't cheap. I've seen because I wanted to get my son one of them fucking little stand. He's sitting and it holds the TV screen and fucking got everything. But the cheapest one I found was like $1,200.
Right.
And that was used.
Well, you can get a steering wheel and you could probably just get the steering wheel and the gas pedals. And then if you got a decent monitor, you can start out for, $300-400. But getting a seat and where you actually getting a shifter and, all those little add-ons and it just starts adding up, I mean, or you go to a full kit. But then you also got to have a PC with a decent card that can, some of those got like 3 different monitors of 48-inch monitors, You have monitors, so you're actually getting 360 view, and it's like you're really looking out the fucking back of or sides of the cars.
Yep, that's what I see. That one guy, it was like 25 grand. He said he had this custom steering wheel made and fucking. It was ridiculous. It's the same with, you can get those for flight simulators too. And that shit's same thing. It's so expensive.
there's people that do that with the big rigs and drive
Yep.
semis.
Yep.
I mean, they got like a full semi simulator that looks like the inside of it, and that's what they're sitting in with a big old stick shift, and they're slamming gears, 16 gears going uphill, downhill, and shit like that.
I mean, it's pretty expensive. I mean, not compared to the real things, but those things are pretty spendy. They're pretty neat though. They've come a long ways, that's for sure.
Yeah. And actually, how they said that a couple of the 9/11 terrorists actually figured out how to sort of fly a plane was
it was through simulators. Yeah.
Microsoft, fucking Flight Simulator 2011 or 2010.
Yeah, because you can get all the fucking the buttons and gauges and all that shit. You can get all of that. I mean, that'd be crazy. It's crazy. Is that what it is? iRacing?
Yeah. And that's big business too, where they'll come out in certain spots and they'll like map out your racetrack, and they might give you a small cut, but now you got to pay for that track to go race there. So it's like a Warcraft or fucking Roblox or whatever, where you're buying the next upgrade on a computer game.
Well, because once you own the game, the only thing you can do is fucking upcharge people on this fucking stupid little shit. Nickel and dime them.
And I don't think that on iRacing that you actually own the game. You only own the license for the year. So that just allows you to be able to go on their server, where like without their server, it's not like you can play the game.
Right.
That makes any sense. I mean,
yeah, it does. You have to go to the site and play it through the site. And once your licensing expires, you can't play the game through the site unless you buy the licensing again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I think is cool. I mean,
and it allows you also to figure, so you're able not to go rub shoulders with somebody that's, just learning or whatever. There's actually eliteness where you earn a license, A, B, C, A, or A, B, and you earn like 3 or 4 different licenses and you move up in the ranks. Where there's people that actually make money fucking just iRacing every Friday night.
There's as far as I understand it, there's people that get sponsored to do that shit.
That's how he got disqualified from I guess some type of like pipe came off that was an axle tube cooler. Alfredo, he was a big iRacer, but he got disqualified from being in the 500 Daytona this week because of that.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Buy you something for Valentine's Day. Oh, you want one of those iRacers? Fuck. You better get in line.
Well, I'm getting fucking hungry.
Yeah. It's almost been 3 hours.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm just chatting away.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up and helping me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, you could paint the inside, but I'd say a gutter would help out tremendously. Then waterproofing and finding a drain for the rest of the water would, but just getting that to run off 3-4 feet from the side of the house, taking all that water from the roof, that would really help.
Yeah, like you say, putting a gutter up, or even, I think a gutter would be the way to go. I was gonna say a piece of flashing just angled towards, but you might as well just put a gutter on it.
Well, then it can go into a downspout, and the downspout could be on a swivel, and hell, you could have that thing 6 foot from the house, so it's putting it out 6 foot, and then when you go to mow, you just push it up, and it locks right in on the swivel thing. That's how.
Oh yeah, 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 I know exactly what you're talking about. Because then you can push it. Because fucking, you could literally have the downspout drop it right where that other little trough where that pipe is out there and let it just
Yeah.
run down that fucking,
Yep.
yeah, that's a good idea.
So, okay, bud.
Well, all right. All
I'm
right,
glad
bud.
I
I'll
got
talk to you
hang
later.
out with you.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a good night. Hope you and your wife have good dinner and all that.
Yeah, that's what 3.5 more hours. That's why I got to get a snack. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
last till 5:30.
yeah, yeah. You get a snack now, and you'll be hungry by dinner.
Oh yeah. So okay, later.
All right, buddy. Later. All right, everybody. I'm gonna just shut this down too. Appreciate everybody for showing up. Have a great day, and yeah, all that stuff. Peace.